it was just, as a singer, sometimes it's just nice to sing words that just sort of just flow and rhyme, and you don't always know what they're about. And I didn't even really care what they were about. It was just kind of, they were just nice to sing. And sometimes I think lyrics find their own meanings, you know, and they're certainly finding their own meanings for other people, you know. I mean, me as a kid, you know, Strawberry Fields Forever, I mean, fuck knows what that means, but it meant something to me, you know, something indescribable. So I was just kind of getting off on that, really, to be honest with you. But I mean, for the central song for me, will have to be Floorboards, you know, from the Floorboards up, because I just think it's, as soon as I sort of hear it, I want to sort of smash my kitchen up, you know, which I don't do you know what I mean, obviously. But it's got that sort of, I don't know, that kickstart thing about it, man, you know, in the nicest possible sense, you know what I mean?
Because it's the returns back to basics.
Yeah, man, it's just, yeah, it's just lovely to hear a four-piece band, real simple, 2 minutes 27. Very direct, and just a little niggly in there, you know, a little in there. It's nice to hear that again, because I've been a little bit mellow in recent years, I think.
Do you think you've kind of got the? It's not really angry though. They're not really angry numbers, are they?
No, because there's love behind it. I don't think it's really anger. I just think it's just energy, you know. I don't know what else word you'd put on it. I mean, just there's a bit of anger in that, but it's all good, you know. It's a positive anger, you know. It's just kind of a little get in there, you know. Step in there.
The whole recording process seems like it was pretty much everyone was getting on great, and we'd finish it whenever and then carry on listening to it all night. Do you think that's all the fact you've all really got together as a unit, you and Stan and the band?
Yeah, I do, yeah. But I think also, yeah, definitely, yeah. But I think also what we're hearing and what we're doing is inspiring that as well. Because I've worked on other albums where we don't stay up till 3 in the morning listening back to what we've done in the daytime, you know. We're quite happy to sort of go to bed, you know what I mean? And so I think that's always a good sign. I mean, everyone's on the lash maybe, but that doesn't matter about that. It's, you know, what's better than hearing loud music and getting pissed, you know what I mean? Answers on the postcard, man, you know what I mean? But I think, but it'd only be any good if what you're hearing is good, wouldn't it? You know, it'd be a false, empty, you know, thing otherwise.
When do you see this record? It seems like such a statement and it's so complete.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's like almost a combination of everything up to now in a way?
Yeah, but, I mean, I think it's one of the best things I've ever done. I mean, it's definitely one of the best things I've done in recent years, in the last 10 years, that's for sure. For me anyway, me personally, you know. Where it puts me now, I've no idea, you know, just how I feel about it, but it's just, I just feel good about it. I just think, you know, I've done something good here. And the band has, and everyone has worked on it, you know. And I suppose it's kind of, you know, I don't know if gratifying is the right word, but after all these years, after all these records, to still feel like that, I'm like, fucking hell, wow, you know what I mean? It's like, that's something else really. And I'm grateful for it as well, I think, just to feel that inspired again after sort of, you know, 30 years or whatever the fuck it's been. And, I mean, you know, I'm not really one to sit back on my laurels, you know, as you know. So, I'm not particularly comparing it back to anything in the past or what I've done, you know. If anything, I'd compare it to what I did 2 years ago, but I'm not even doing that. It's just, to me, it's just fresh, it's just now, you know. But I'm awful glad to feel that inspired, you know, after at my age and after all this time and all these records and all this music, to still feel like that, you know. Because it isn't every day you do feel like that, you know.
I could imagine people saying that it's a combination of everything, really, from you know, 18 doing, you know, not recording the first album in 9 days, you know, vocals in a lift or whatever, through the Style Council and your solo career. There's elements of all three for the first time.
Yeah, there is, it's true, yeah.
And is that just the way it came out?
I'm not conscious of that at all, not at all, and I wouldn't be conscious of that. And I think all those things you talked about are all part of me, and they're in my blood and in my body, and they're bound to go around. But I certainly wouldn't be conscious of doing that at all. It's just everything I like, and you know, so, I mean, I played Floorboards to Polly, who works at V2, and she was like, "Oh, what have you been listening to?" You know, well, John Coltrane actually. Do you know what I mean? She's got no fucking bearing whatsoever on Floorboards. So I don't know if those things are they're just in the air. I think they're around, and you kind of soak them up, even possibly without even realising them. You know, but I don't think it's always that direct or that conscious. You know.
Stan was saying you listen to some classical stuff. Do you think has that kind of come to bear almost on say Peddling Boy or some of those? Which, do you think that plays any part in the recording of Subconscious?
No, I don't. I don't know if it. I don't know if it. Again, you know, I don't think it plays any direct part at all. If I listen to Ravel or Debussy or something, you know, you wouldn't say, "Oh, you should be listening to Ravel or Debussy or John Coltrane." Do you know what I mean? But I think it's like any great music, which obviously is subjective. But any great music, you feel that any music you feel is great. You soak it in, and it manifests in some way or another. It comes out somewhere, doesn't it? You know, even if it's just greatness, even if you're just trying to attain a certain greatness or a benchmark which you judge your own work against. You know what I mean? But I don't think it has any direct influence at all. No, I mean I listen to all sorts of music. You know, country and western to fucking whatever, red dub. You know, I mean it's just all great music, and if it's great, I want to hear it, man. You know, I want to ingest it and make it part of me. You know.
Bring Back the Funk, was that an easy one to get down? Was it like, right, this is going to be, did it come out of a jam thing? Or?
No, it took ages to do that tune. I've had that idea 2 or 3 years ago. I was banging on about doing a song called Bring Back the Funk Parts 1 and 2 to the others, and just sort of talking it up for a good 2 years before I finally got around to sort of writing a song. And I think the idea is just sort of, well, I think, you know, I do think we need to bring back the funk, you know. I don't think it's just down to like white boys from fucking Surrey to bring it back. But I just think generally in the world we need to bring back the funk, you know. But I guess you're sort of making the funk, you know, something bigger than what it is, you know, bigger than a musical genre, just, you know, whether we talk about God or love or fun or family, I don't know, I kind of see it, I'm sort of kind of using it in that sense really, sort of bring back the, you know, something we can all grab hold of and be part of.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that's how kind of abstract the idea is. But that was the idea behind the song, you know. And it was just trying to find the right vehicle for it, you know. Because originally it was kind of like, oh, it could be like a sort of JB type thing, which would be totally wrong, you know. And it isn't that. It's something else, you know. It's kind of got acoustic guitar in there, and the words are quite obtuse and. So it's sort of something else again, you know, and people will draw from it whatever they will, you know. But that's the intent behind it.
But of the album overall, I mean, what do you think? Where do you think people would be most at home listening to it? Is it almost like everybody seems to be kind of dancing around the studio? Is it like a?
It's a good place. It's the best, you know. It's not probably the worst place. I think they could hear it anywhere, man. I think, you know, in your car's good, cranked up full, or at home cranked up, wherever it is, cranked up full, wherever you are, you know. On your iPod, whatever the fuck you want, you know what I mean?
Is Shine On the same theme then as Bring Back the Funk? Almost like don't let it
bring you down.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. Again, you know, I'm thinking. I guess you know, I was thinking sort of in live terms, and just seeing like an audience, just like, come, you know, we're all here, man. You know, it's the communion. It's like, you know, we're at the electric church, as Hendrix called it. You know, let's all have it. You know. Not too basic way to put it, man, but that's, you know what I mean, that's the idea, man, yeah.
How
and everyone's beautiful. I mean, last night, you know, seeing this gig last night, I have to go back to it, I know, but it's just beautiful to see it all. It's just great to see, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 people, whatever the configuration is, it could be a club, whatever, or a festival, where everyone's having it. It's the only time probably, or very few times in their life, everyone's like that, like you're linked and just, they all got the same idea. It's a fantastic thing, you know.
Do you think Fly Little Bird, how did that come about? I mean, it's absolutely beautiful number, did it?
It was like a little coda thing. We were doing a song live called Dust and Rocks, which is off an album from a few years ago. And it was just like a little coda thing I just made up on the spot and just sort of was just jamming on this 2-chord thing. And everyone in the band was going, oh, that's nice, what's that? You know, I was like, I don't know, we're just kind of just making it up on the spot, really. So it just kind of fed on from that and just developed into something else, really.
It was lyrically, was it something, did it have like a metaphor for something?
Well, I don't know, I mean, it could be, you know, it could be me saying to my kids, you know, fly, forever fly, you know, we'd be free and don't let people tie you down and just, you know, but then it becomes something else again, I don't know, you know, I don't know, I don't even put my finger on some of these tunes, you know, because you've done all the time down, you know. It's like a little balloon you let go into the sky, and you know, and off you go. And wherever it lands, you know, who knows? But it's enough sometimes. You know, there's too much tying down in this world. You know.
What do you think the 18-year-old Paul would have thought of about.
He'd be fucking mad for floorboards, man.
Yeah.
I've been out down Maxwell's, right, which is my local record shop, fucking on Monday buying it. Definitely.
So it's the same. So but it's the same feeling going all the way through, really. Do you think?
Well, it's sort of almost full circle in some ways, but I mean, it's I definitely would be having that, man. That's for sure. It's tough enough and it's short enough and concise enough to be having it.